Hey guys and gals. So we've got some news that I've been sort of avoiding for a couple of days, but people keep asking me, so I kind of have no other option but to touch base on this today, or at least touch base on it at some point in time. The English voices for Arknights. I can't blame you if you guys have actually been trying to avoid this like the plague. It's understandable. I too avoided it, but I eventually dipped my toes in and regretted it instantly. I'm lucky I came back out with my bloody toes, but that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck you all in the pool with the piranhas anyway, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this like adults, damn it. So let's get into this, and I'm going to give you my tidbits of information and my thoughts about why I think this is a pretty poopy idea for the most part, and we'll go from there. But I'm about to ruin a lot of things for a lot of people, so I don't know, trigger warning, I guess. So, buckle up, lads.
Hello, doctors. I'm Emma Valentine, the voice of Amir. It's astonishing that Arknights has been going for more than 2 years already. I'm delighted to be able to join the cast. The English dub of the game is coming along, and my girl Amir is the...
So let's stop here. My girl Amir. Amir. I know I'm being pedantic here, but I'm actually going to rip this. I'm going to rip strips off this because that's the sort of person I am. Sometimes. If you're voice acting a character, especially a main character, you know, literally the most predominant character of a series, for God's sake, learn how to say their name properly. The name isn't Amir. The game's been out for 2 years. She herself said it. It's been out longer than that if you take into consideration that the Chinese game's been going. So let's just avoid literally everything ever. And let's go back over to this. This is the initial concept trailer before the release. So this is the official concept trailer too. I'm only going to play this brief discussion between Amir and Kaltsit.
本当にこれでよかったのかアーミア
Amir. I mean, this is 13 seconds into the video. You didn't even have to waste a minute of your life to get the name down, and she's got it wrong. So that's not a great start, is it, really?
The one you doctors know the best, right? I'm doing what I can to bring this strong, kind, brave young lady to life in the English language.
And I feel that it's a bit disingenuous, that line there. It's a bit disingenuous just because she says, you know, she's doing what she can to bring her to life. And then she gets her name wrong. Not once, but twice. You know, it wasn't a misspeak like I do every day, because I can't talk for crap, but she's actually got it wrong twice. And no doubt that that's her belief that the name is that way. Which in English, don't get me wrong, it is. If you just look at that, you go, oh, Amir. I guess. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you're from as to how you want to pronounce the A in that, but I don't think that's a good start. Anyway, let's hear her voice line. I've pulled up Amir's in-game Japanese voice line by comparison, so we can all have a listen to both.
See you in the game.
There's still lots of work that needs to be done, Doctor. We can't afford to have you resting.
So that's the line. Here's the Japanese version.
ドクター、終わってない仕事がたくさんありますから、まだ休んじゃダメですよ。
So it's within reason. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's a huge leap to assume that she does a bad job of it. Both speak soft. I don't like it in particular, but I'll touch base on why I don't really like it later on. Because a lot of the reasons I don't like these voice actors, minus one, and I'll back that with a hammer when I get to it as well. But minus one, I don't like most of these voice actresses, but it's not for the reason you probably think. Anyway, Chen's up next, as you can see, so let's touch
Hello,
that.
doctors. My name is Amy Lennox, and I'm the voice of Chen. Arknights has been one of my favourite games for quite a while. I downloaded it on day one, and it is still on my mobile right here. When I got the call to voice Chen, I could not believe it. I got to become my favourite character. We're making really good progress on our voice work, and you're going to get to hear us in the game soon. Oh, and I'm working very hard to do justice to my beloved Chen in English. The events in Chernobog and my experiences in Dosseles both proved one thing. Whether fighting or saving, I must first understand my target. I need to broaden my horizons and open my eyes, Doctor.
So there's Chen. That one is this one right here.
チェルノボーグで起きたことやドッソレスシティでの経験を通じて確信したことがある。何かと敵対する。あるいは何かを救おうとするとき、まず相手を理解すべきなんだ。私はもっと視野を広げていかなければな、ドクター。
So, going back to this yet again, I feel like I do have a little bit of a complaint about that voice actor, that being, I don't feel like she has a strong enough voice. That's my complaint with that one. Like, Chen, I believe, was one of those characters who is unbelievably strong and self-sufficient. We all saw that through the story. I mean, most of us, I hope, have played through the story by now. We've all seen the often unacceptable choices that Chen has made. Me as a person, I'm not too chuffed about it being a part of Rhodes Island now, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. I believe that, bless that voice actress for actually giving it a try. She says it's Chen's her favorite character, but again, this is another thing that goes back to what I said earlier about there's a reason I don't like most of these voice actresses voicing. And I will touch base on that at the end, but now we have, as you can see, the rabbit, and I don't know what to say, guys. Skip ahead, just mute and skip ahead if you're really concerned. I know that Cruz's Kokodayo is something that's big in the Arknights universe. So, yeah, skip ahead if you don't want to hurt yourself or cry and curl into a ball and cry for a while. All right, here comes Cruz, and we will actually pull it up. I'll actually play, because she gives the line immediately. So this time I'll give you Cruz's Kokodayo immediately. And then she has another line towards the end. So.
Here I am. Good day, doctors. I'm Grace
Flops
Hogg
on its
Robinson,
face,
and
doesn't
I
it?
voice Cruz. It's a pleasure to meet you. I understand my Cruz has been around since the very beginning, but she's still plenty popular with the doctors. I'm very excited to bring you a whole new Cruz voice. Our dubbing is coming along really well, and I'm confident you'll get to hear us in the game soon. I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone thinks of my take on Cruz.
Doctor, it's such a nice day. So can't we take a little nap? ドクター、こんないい天気だし、少し眠ろうよ。
Now, I hate to do it, but I'm actually going to slag on poor old Grace Hogg Robinson on that one. Cruz is a big one for Arknights. I have no idea how or why Cruz ended up as popular as she did. I know she's a good operator, but how her popularity just exploded is beyond me. Obviously, the Kokodayo, as I said, it fucking fell on its face. It didn't even get off the ground. But my big issue with her as the voice actress is that I find that Cruz's Japanese voice is very wispy, I guess, or there is a better word for it. Whimsical, I guess. Grace Hogg Robertson just doesn't have that sort of voice. She has like a very soft voice, which is fine, but Cruz isn't exactly a soft-spoken girl. which is where my key issue comes into it. She's very carefree. She's very, she speaks with like that whimsical voice, but it's certainly not a soft voice. Whereas Grace Hogg Robertson, in her voiceover, as you heard, she does speak with a very soft, airy voice, and I just don't feel that that's Cruz. So that's my issue with that one specifically. Obviously, as I say, there are more issues at the end, but I will touch base on that at the end. Now, unfortunately, that I've given that to you guys, we're going to move on to Nerl. Nerl has 2 voice lines as well. One is actually stated at the beginning, so I'll throw that gun out in Japanese for you guys right now.
ご機嫌うるわしゅうドクター。あなたに光のご加護があらんこと。
And I wasn't actually able to find the second one.
Salutations, Doctor. May the light be with you. Hello, Doctors.
So,
I'm Deborah
if you
Wild,
guys can
voice
find
of
it,
Nell
and
and
let
the
me know in the
Radiant
comments,
Knight.
that'd be great.
I've been playing Arknights since well before I was asked to join the cast. So I'm beyond delighted to get to bring my voice to the English dub. And Nerl's story already made a strong impression on me. As a knight, she fears neither hardship nor darkness, standing for the pride and glory of her chivalric heritage. And as an operator, she brings comfort to the suffering, protects the weak, and defends both the lives and dignity of the infected. She shines as bright as that noble light that illuminates the land. It's my honor to give a voice to Nell, and I hope you enjoy my performance. See you in the game. There will come a day when we clear the mist of hardship and darkness, awaiting first light's rays, awaiting an even better tomorrow.
So I thought I knew what that second line was, but I was never able to actually find it word for word, or close enough to word for word, so obviously I don't know what the hell it is. My only real issue with that particular actress is that I don't feel that she, again, has a strong enough voice for Nerl. That's my issue, is that I don't feel that she has a strong enough voice to actually encompass what Nerl is. Like, Nerl is very strong, again, a very strong woman. She's extremely protective. I would nearly go as far as to say motherly, because she certainly does care when she goes out on a mission about every operator under her lead. But I am more accepting of that voice actress in Nerl because I won't, because I will tell you guys after Shaw, who I believe is our last one on our list, and then we can talk about why I don't like most of these voice actresses.
Hello, Chief. Voice actor Harriet Carmichael reporting for duty.
Hi, I'm Harriet, the voice of Shaw. Arknights has been going for more than 2 years, but we're here to bring you a fresh experience. It's an honour to join Rhodes Island as part of the English cast. I understand my Shaw has been with you, Doctor, since the early days. She's our cute little firefighter who can't stop talking once she gets going. I hope my performance shows you a whole new dimension of Shaw. So,
awaiting orders, ready when you are, Chief.
So there you go, guys. And that one
いつでもご指示お待ちしております、上官。
is that one. Alright. So why do I not like most of these voice actresses? The simple fact of the matter is that the Arknights world is a world very similar to our own. I'm going to be super real with you guys right now. There are many different regions with many different religious views, types of people, social standings, that, it's as real as our own world. And the Arknights world really does have a home that reality. And in a lot of places, that reality is not particularly bright. The big issue that we have is that a lot of these people, although not displayed in our voice acting teaser here, there's a lot of operators from different regions that are inherently exceptionally different from each other. And they are actually based loosely on real world places, whether it be in one way or another. So, for example, we have this is just me grabbing at an example to make, but we have operators like, say, Matoimaru. I believe Mizuki is from there as well. Who else? Who else? Who else? There was one other that I looked at that was from there that just... Akafuyu, Utage. So all those girls, they all hail from the land of Higashi, right? That's their place of birth. They live there. We would imagine that despite what their race is, if they were born there, they would have an accent. The problem with pulling something to English is that because English is such a global language, I can actually turn around and say, well, not everybody in a fucking Arknights universe is going to sound like a bloody pommy. It makes sense to me that the girls from Casimiras would sound that way, because Casimiras is a land of knights and chivalry. Well, you know, at the surface, it's a land of chivalry. Once you scratch that surface off, it's a bit shit, but... So it makes sense, because what's the first thing you think of when you think of knights? Well, for me at least, I go back to that sort of medieval age in England where there were knights. You know, that makes sense to me. I can connect those dots in my head, and it makes sense. So let's turn around and we say the place of birth, Higashi, which is noted as a land in the east. That to me screams, you know, why don't you have some sort of Asian accent? Or why won't you have some sort of Asian accent? Because even if you move somebody, unless you're born in that country and you are born and raised and grown to know the accent, you will not entirely adopt the accent. You will always have the accent of your original nation or your original language. So keeping with the Higashi thing, let's just say, for me, Australian. If I went to, say, live in China or Japan or any one of those Asian nations in that little group of countries there, even if I learnt to speak fluent Japanese, I would still have some semblance of an Australian accent behind it, because that is how I have spoken for my whole life. I would never lose that accent. If I had kids, they would sound whatever the local accent is of wherever I was staying, because, you know, in Japan there's several different dialects depending on what region you're from. But outside of that, you would have your native accent somewhere underlying it that people would always go, oh, this bloke sounds funny. He speaks good, but he sounds a bit funny. So you'd always have that. And in a game like Arknights, and unfortunately this is the issue when you come into English with it being such a global language, is then you've got like operators, say Zimmer. So all those girls from Ursus, you would expect them to have an Eastern European accent. So, you know, just Russian as an example. I mean, let's go there. They come from a snowy, cold, shit place. We've seen that. So sorry, Russian guys, but that's what they say. And the only really snowy, cold place globally for us is Russia. I mean, yeah, it does snow in the Eastern European nations, but, you know, when you think of constant cold, constant snow, that the concept of Russia, so, you know, Siberia comes up to you. So you would expect them to have not a nice, clean, fluent English accent. You would expect them to have a Russian accent. So it would be Russian English, you know? So that's why I don't like a lot of this, because while it's one thing to certainly say in Japan, and it's the other thing too, if you realize, or if you know, you know, the Japanese voice actresses do actually tend to adopt to their own regional types. So if they need like a bumpkin, for example, they will take somebody from, this is horrible, southern Japan. I can't actually think of the region. I'd have to look at a map, and I don't want to do that while I'm recording. Okinawa, I think it actually is. So they'll use somebody who is from Okinawa because they can have that Okinawan accent and it fills the role. The problem with English is that it doesn't work that way. because we all, or most people anyway, I mean, I'm from Australia, so there's people from everywhere here. But, you know, I hear people who have come here and, you know, there's the Lebanese English, there's the Russian English, there's the Japanese, Thailand, Taiwanese, you know, all those different, every single Asian country, their English all sounds different. And you can pick it as soon as they start talking. And that's what I mean. That's my issue with this, is that they've picked a UK cast and it's not gonna go well. So do I appreciate them adding English voices? Absolutely. It'd be silly of me not to say that I appreciate it. Do I think that they've done a good job of it? No, I think they've done a horrible job. And I don't actually believe whoever's idea this was, I don't believe it was Yostar's idea. I would go as far as to say that it's probably either Hypergriffs or Studio Montagne. That's absolutely not how you pronounce that, but that's how we're going. I would absolutely say it's one of those studios' ideas. I like to believe that Yostar is a lot more globally conscious than that. Just from Yostar's own actions in the past. So, yeah, that's my 5 cents on this. That's my take on this. I probably haven't enunciated it very well because I've kind of thrown this together at the last minute, but that's where we're at, or that's where I'm at. Will I be using the English dub? I won't. I will be clicking through a few just to see how they sound, like a few of my favorite operators, for example, but will I be using it full time? Absolutely not. I want to keep my Coco Dario the way it is. So, yeah, I hope that's enjoyable, guys. I was actually going to pull up, like, where the voice actresses have come from, the voice actresses that we have, so Emma Valentine, for example. But I actually omitted it from this final video because I didn't really want to go through all that. But anyway, if you would have liked to have seen that, then let me know in the comments. I will consider it for any time I do something in the future like this. Again, and let me know in the comments what you guys think about it and whether or not you'll be sticking to Japanese or swapping over to English. I'll be curious to see how many people will be doing what. So that's it for now, guys. Take care.